Okay, students, good morning. Today's topic is normal periodontium, and this topic is dealt under the subject name periodontology and oral implantology. And for this topic, you should be knowing about the definition of the periodontium and what are the various components of periodontium. And it is one of the most important topic from your exam point of view, since it is frequently asked in your push exam. Periodontology, the subject, it is the branch of the dentistry which mainly deals with the scientific study of periodontium in health and disease. While talking about the scope of periodontics, it mainly deals with the various disease conditions associated with periodontium and its management. Similarly, it is also associated with the reconstruction of oral hard and soft tissues, as well as the placement of dental implants in the oral cavity. And periodontal medicine, it is the sub-branch of this subject which mainly focuses on the association between the periodontal health or disease and the systemic health or disease. Okay, now a two-way relationship have been established between the periodontal disease and the systemic health or disease by the various researchers. Since any systemic condition, they can modify the host susceptibility to periodontitis. Periodontitis means the inflammation of the periodontium in general. And the patient with immune suppression, they may not be able to mount the effective host response, since the host response is diminished if the patient is immunocompromised. And organ system and conditions that are possibly influenced by the periodontal infection, they include the cardiovascular or cerebrovascular system, similarly the endocrine system, reproductive system, and the respiratory system. Now, let's learn few related to diabetes and the interrelationship between the periodontal disease. Periodontal disease, it is the established sixth complications of the diabetes mellitus. And diabetes mellitus, it increases the prevalence, extent, severity, and the progression of the periodontal diseases as studied by Kinane et al. In the year 2006. Diabetes, it is the clear risk factor for the periodontitis, and the bidirectional relationship had been established between the diabetes and the periodontal disease. And American Dental Association, it recommends the screening every 3 years if the individual is more than 45-year-old. These are the oral manifestations of the diabetes mellitus. In first picture, you can see the cheilosis, that is ulceration in the angle of the mouth. And here you can see the mucosal drying and cracking. Here is the mucosal ulceration, gerostomia, burning mouth syndrome. Gerostomia means that it is the dryness of the tongue. And candidal infection, and this is the dental caries. Similarly, the individuals with the periodontitis, they are at increased risk for the MI by 2.5 times. Similarly, for the stroke by 4.3 times, and they are also more susceptible for the occurrence of any peripheral vascular disease by around 2.3 times. Okay, this is the flow chart to show the influence of periodontal infection on any atherosclerotic events. First of all, what happens is if there is any periodontal infection in an individual, then there is the production of the endotoxin, that is lipopolysaccharide, by the gram-negative bacteria, and this pathogens and the bacterial products released by the bacteria, they are responsible for the damage of the endothelium. Similarly, there will be the aggregation or the adhesion of the platelet, and the monocytic or the macrophages infiltration will occur, which eventually lead to the overproduction of the cytokines or the growth factors. Cytokines, you all know that it is an inflammatory markers, and there will be the thrombus formation. And these all are further responsible for the atheroma formation, the thickening of the vessel wall, and the occurrence of any thromboembolic events may happen. This is the flow chart that shows how the periodontal infection is responsible for this sort of events. Now, this is the question that is asked. Write about the definition of the periodontium and its various components. It is frequently asked in around I think 10 marks. And the periodontium, it is derived from the Greek word where peri means around and odont means tooth. By the definition, it is the investing and the supporting structures around the teeth. And it is also defined as the connective tissue organ that attaches the teeth to the bone of the jaws and provides continually adapting apparatus for the support of the teeth during the function. While talking about the components of periodontium, each mainly comprises of mineralized component and the fibrous component. And under mineralized component, we have the cementum and the alveolar bone. Similarly, periodontal ligament and the gingiva, it falls under the fibrous component. Gingiva means giza, gum, whose main function is protection of the underlying tissues. Similarly, PDL, cementum and alveolar bone, they comprises the attachment apparatus. Each of this component of periodontium, they have the specific role. These are important for the maintenance of the healthy periodontium and adaptation throughout the lifetime. Regarding the oral mucosa, it is divided into three main categories based on its function and histology. That is the masticatory mucosa, which accounts around 60%. Similarly, we do have the specialized mucosa counting around 15%, and the rest is the lining mucosa. Masticatory mucosa, it is found on the dorsum of the tongue, hard palate, and the attached gingiva. Specialized mucosa, it is found in the taste buds on the lingual papilla on the dorsal surface of the tongue, and lining mucosa, it is seen in alveolar mucosa, buccal mucosa, and labial mucosa. Now, let's have a discussion one by one, that is the various components of the periodontium. First, we have the gingiva. Its definition is very much important from your viva point of view and theoretically also. And it is a part of the oral mucosa that covers the alveolar process of jaws, and it surrounds the neck of the teeth. This is the definition of the gingiva. Now, regarding the anatomic division of the gingiva, it comprises of three parts of the gingiva, that is the marginal gingiva, attached gingiva, and the interdental gingiva. Marginal gingiva means the gingiva that surrounds the tooth immediately. Okay, it is around 1.5 to 1 millimeter in its width, and the gingiva that continues from the attached gingiva, from the marginal gingiva, that is the attached gingiva. Means this is the marginal gingiva, other name is the unattached or the free gingiva, which surrounds the teeth in a polar-like fashion. Okay, and this is the attached gingiva and interdental gingiva. As the name suggests, interdental means anything that is in between the tooth. And here, the gingiva between the tooth is the interdental gingiva. Marginal gingiva, is the terminal edge or the border of the gingiva surrounding the tooth in a collar-like fashion, usually about 1 millimeter. Attached gingiva, it is continuous with the marginal gingiva, as I have already mentioned. It is firm, resilient, and tightly bound to the underlying tissues of the alveolar bone, and on the facial aspect, it is extending towards the alveolar mucosa. This is the alveolar mucosa, which is the freely movable portion of the oral cavity. Interdental gingiva, I have already said that it is the gingiva between the two teeth and it occupies the gingival embrasure. Gingival embrasure भन्नाले तिनीहरुको यो दुईटा दाँतको बीचमा what that space is the gingival embrasures. And in the anterior teeth, the interdental gingiva, it is pyramidal in shape, whereas in posterior it is the pole or ten-shaped. That is the valley-like depression. Depression हुन्छ है यसो. अनि यो चाहिँ नि तिमीहरुको practicalमा जब clinical featuresहरु record गर्ने बेलामा चाहिँ it's quite important. Gingival sulcus भन्नाले तिमीहरुको यो space हो, which is between the tooth and the gingiva. Gingiva र tooth को बीचमा हुने एउटा space, that is the gingival sulcus. And under ideal circumstances, it is around 2 millimeter. In histological sections, it is 1.8 millimeter, and the probing depth of the clinically normal gingiva, it is 2 to 3 millimeter. Okay, and while examining the patient, if it comes around like more than 3 mm, then it is considered as the periodontal pocket, and it is important while giving the diagnosis for the patient. Now, about the ultrastructure of the gingiva. Ultrastructure means at the microscopic level, gingiva, it has broadly two components, that is the gingival epithelium and the connective tissues. Gingival connective tissue is also known as the lamina propria. And gingival epithelium, it has three components, that is the oral or the outer epithelium, follicular epithelium, and the junctional epithelium. And in the gingival connective tissue, it has a papillary layer and the reticular layer. And about the function of the gingival epithelium. Gingival epithelium function के हो भनेर सोध्यो भने to protect the deep structure, and it also allows the selective interchange with the outer environment. It has an important role in an innate host defense mechanism, and it is one of the initiator, regulator, and the host immune responder against the periodontal pathogens, that it protects from any sort of the invasion of the periodontal pathogens into the epithelium. I hope you must be knowing this. These are the layers of the non-keratinized surface epithelium, and it consists of the stratum superficially, which is the superficial layer, and the intermediate layer is the stratum intermedium, and the third layer is the stratum basal. And next is the basal lamina or the basement membrane. हो यसको काम भनेको चाहिँ नि to join the gingival epithelium to connective tissues. हैन अघि भनेको थियो नि ultra structure of gingiva के भन्दाखेरि एउटा epithelium को कुरा आयो थियो, एउटा connective tissue को कुरा आयो हो. यो दुईटा structure लाई चाहिँ नि join गर्ने, that is the basal lamina, which is around 300 to 400 Armstrong thick, and it again consists of the basal plasma membrane, lamina lucida, lamina densa, and the lamina reticularis. And about the gingival connective tissue, its component is the collagen fibers, which is around 60% by volume. Similarly, fibroblast, vessels and nerves, that is embedded in the amorphous ground substances. Gingival connective tissues is also known as the lamina propria, consisting of the papillary layer and the reticular layer and the ground substance. It fills the space between the fibers and cells, is amorphous and has a high content of water. Cells in connective tissues are like fibroblasts, mast cells, macrophages, inflammatory cells. And the connective tissue fibers, they are mainly produced by fibroblasts and divided into collagen fibers, reticulin fibers, oxytocin fibers, and elastin fibers. अब कुरा आयो what is the function of the gingival fibers भनेर हैन अब gingival fibers को काम भनेको to brace the marginal gingiva firmly against the tooth or to unite the marginal gingiva firmly against the tooth. यो भइसकेपछि तिमीहरुलाई गिजा र दाँतको अट्याचमेन्ट आइसकेपछि प्रपर सपोर्ट हुने भयो है tooth structure लाई. And it also provide the rigidity which is necessary to withstand the forces of the mastication without being deflected away from the tooth surface. And these are the names for the principal gingival fibers and the secondary gingival fibers. Principal fibers, we do have the dentogingival fibers, alveologingival, dentoperiosteal, circular, and the transeptal fibers. And in secondary fibers, it is the periostogingival fibers, interpapillary fibers, transgingival, intercircular, intergingival, and the semicircular fibers. के भयो त जिन्जाइभाको अल्ट्रा स्ट्रक्चरको कुरा गर्नु पर्दाखेरि जिन्जाइभल इपिथेलियममा चाहिँ तिमीहरुको के भयो तीनटा ओरल र आउटर इपिथेलियम सर्कुलर इपिथेलियम एन्ड द जंक्शनल इपिथेलियम हैन त्यसै गरी कनेक्टिभ टिस्युको कुरा आयो which is also known as the lamina propria and it has the two layers papillary and the reticular layer हो यो दुईटा स्ट्रक्चरलाई युनाइट गर्ने भनेको that is the basal lamina हैन हो त्यो भयो that is the microscopic level को कुरा गर्दाखेरि अनि anatomic division त थाहा पाइहाल्यो marginal gingiva हैन त्यसै गरी attached gingiva and the interdental gingiva. Blood supply of gingiva, and there are mainly three sources of the blood supply to gingiva, which is supraperiosteal arterioles, vessels of PDL, and the arterioles which emerge from the crest of the interdental septa. Now talking about the nerve innervation, it is derived from the fibers from nerves in the PDL. PDL भनेको अर्को कम्पोनेन्ट हो नि हैन पेरिडोन्टियम हो त्यो PDL बाट नै तिमीहरुको जिन्जाइभामा पनि ब्लड सप्लाई हुने भयो and it is also derived from the labial, buccal and the palatal nerves बाट. अनि this is the myelinated, closely associated with the blood vessels. And there are like meshwork of the terminal agrophilic fibers, Meissner type tactile corpuscles for the tactile perception को लागि त्यस्तै गरी Proulx type end balls. These are the temperature receptors and encapsulated spindles है. अब त्यसै गरी तिमीहरुको lymphatic drainage को कुरा गर्नु पर्दाखेरि labial and the lingual gingiva of the mandibular incisor. अगाडिको दाँत चाहिँ नि it is drained to the submental lymph node हैन. त्यस्तै गरी तिमीहरुको palatal gingiva of the maxilla means यो upper tooth को inner side. So gingivaहरु चाहिँ नि drain out to the deep cervical lymph nodes हैन. त्यसै गरी तिमीहरुको buccal gingiva of the maxilla and the buccal and the lingual gingiva in the यो पछाडीको mandibular posteriorहरु चाहिँ नि it drain to the submandibular lymph node. भन्नको मतलब तीनटा lymph node हो submental, deep cervical and the submandibular lymph node. अब यो चाहिँ तिमीहरुलाई कसरी इम्पोर्टेन्ट छ भन्दाखेरि प्र्याक्टिकली है प्र्याक्टिकलमा चाहिँ सबै रेकर्ड गर्नुपर्छ. यो each पोइन्ट्सहरुलाई तिमीहरुले पेशेन्टमा के देख्यो के चाहिँ रेकर्ड गर्दै जाने. अब कलर कस्तो हुन्छ नर्मल कलर भनेको is the coral pink हुने भयो gingivaको and it is determined by the vascular supply, thickness of the epithelium, degree of the keratinization of the epithelium and the presence of the pigment containing cells हैन melanocytes. अब कहिले कहिले अब gingival inflammation को कन्डिसनमा चाहिँ नि त्यो कलर चाहिँ नि चेन्ज हुन सक्ने भयो रेड भइदेला हैन. अब different अरु infection मा color change भएर अरु होला, that is the different. But normal is the coral pink in color. Alveolar mucosa भनेको चाहिँ नि तिमीहरुको freely movable portion भनेको थिए नि मैले हैन, which is red in color. Size को कुरा गर्नु पर्दाखेरि it corresponds with the subtotal of the cellular and the intercellular elements and the vascular supply. Size चाहिँ नि normal हुने भयो, तर कुनै पनि gingival disease को conditions मा चाहिँ नि there could be the alteration of the size. Mainly चाहिँ नि तिमीहरुको hypertrophy नै हुन्छ, there is the gingival enlargement. कन्टुर को कुरा गर्नु पर्यो, कन्टुर भनेको तिमीहरुको यो दाँतमा चाहिँ नि गिजाले कस्तो शेपमा बसिरहेको छ हैन, दिस इज द अब यसै नर्मली यस्तो हुनु पर्यो, दैट इज द स्क्यालोप्ड आउटलाइन हैन. अनि नाइफ एज भन्छ के ठ्याक्क मज्जाले नै एकदम नाइफ एज फर्ममा चाहिँ नि तिमीहरुको जिन्जाइभा चाहिँ नि टुथमा पेनिट्रेट भएको हुन्छ हैन. अब शेप को मैले अघि भनेको थिए जुन इन्टरडेन्टल जिन्जाइभाको शेप को कुरा गर्ने हैन, इन्टरडेन्टल जिन्जाइभा चाहिँ नि तिमीहरुको एन्टेरियर अगाडिको दाँतमा चाहिँ नि पिरामिडल शेप हुने भयो, त्यसै गरी तिमीहरुको पछाडिको दाँत दैट इज मोलार्स र प्रिमोलार्सहरुमा चाहिँ नि तिमीहरुको भ्याली लाइक डिप्रेसन व्हिच इज आल्सो नोन एज द पोल शेपेड or the 10 separate है. consistency importance हरु रेकर्ड गर्नुपर्छ, which is normally firm and resilient हुन्छ है. and this firm and resiliency it is provided by the firmness of the gingival margin. surface texture पनि रेकर्ड गर्नु पर्यो हैन. surface texture रेकर्ड गर्दाखेरि एक्जामिनरले सोध्दा कसरी रेकर्ड गर्यो भनेर है. यहाँ देख्यो नि नर्मली चाहिँ यो टिक 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 परेको देख्यो, दिस इज द orange peel like appearance है of the gingiva which is normal in normal भयो यो चाहिँ. तर if there is any short of the gingival inflammation त्यति बेलामा चाहिँ यो लस हुन्छ. अनि तिमीले के रेकर्ड गर्नु पर्यो भने देखेन भने there is the loss of the stippling भन्नु पर्यो है. पोजिसन को कुरा गर्दाखेरि जिन्जाइभा र सीजे सीजे को रेफरेन्स मा चाहिँ नि तिमीहरुको तीनटा पोजिसन हुने भयो जिन्जाइभाको, दैट इज एट द लेभल अफ द सीजे दैट इज द सिमेन्टो इनामेल जंक्शन हैन, or the coronal to सीजे. सीजे भन्दा माथि पनि हुने भयो, that which is mainly seen in the gingival inflammation condition मा. अनि अपाइकल टु सीजे हैन, कहिले कहिले गिजा तल सरेर हैन सीजे भन्दा तल पनि सरेको हुन्छ, दैट इज द अपाइकल टु सीजे. अब तिमीहरुले चारवटा कम्पोनेन्ट्स मध्ये जिन्जाइभाको चाहिँ सिक्यो है. अब दिस इज द PDL, periodontal ligament, commonly abbreviated as the PDL. अब यो दाँतको बारेमा त अस्ति पढाइ नै सक्नु भएको छ स्ट्रक्चर्सहरु है. दिस इज द क्राउन पोर्सन एन्ड दिस इज द रूट पोर्सन हैन. अब रूटलाई तिमीहरुलाई सराउन्ड गरेको हुन्छ यो सिमेन्टम भन्नेले हैन. अनि एल्भियोलर बोन भनेको दिस इज द बोन सपोर्ट फर द टुथ हो. यो सिमेन्टम र एल्भियोलर बोन को बीचमा जुन एउटा स्ट्रक्चर देख्छ दैट इज द पेरियोडन्टियम. भनेपछि पेरियोडन्टियम को डेफिनेसन मा चाहिँ तिमीहरुले के गर्नु पर्यो भन्दाखेरि it is the structure which attaches the tooth to the cementum and the alveolar bone हैन. अनि inflammation from the dental pulp and gingiva they could spread to involve PDL हैन, PDL and other apical supporting tissues. अब किन इम्पोर्टेन्ट भयो PDL भन्दाखेरि कुनै पनि तिमीहरुको इन्फेक्सन्सहरु चाहिँ मजाले स्प्रेड भएर जान सक्ने भयो PDL मा हैन. अब रेडियोग्राफिकली कुरा गर्नु पर्दाखेरि चाहिँ नि इट इज रेडियोलुसेन्ट इन नेचर है, अराउन्ड 0.4 to 1.5 मिलिमिटर. दिदी अब 10 मिनेट बाँकी छ. आवर ग्लास अपियरेन्स हुन्छ यो है. आवर ग्लास भनेको के भयो त मिडलमा चाहिँ नि यो थिनेस्ट हुने भयो. त्यसै गरी नर्मल विड्थ को कुरा गर्नु पर्दा इट इज अराउन्ड 0.2 to 0.4 मिलिमिटर. As our age increases, the dimension of the periodontal ligament it also start to decrease. Generally, the width of the periodontal ligament it is reduced in non-functional tooth र unerupted tooth हरुमा चाहिँ नि reduced हुने भयो र increase हुन्छ increase कस्तो कन्डिसनमा भन्दाखेरि प्राइमेरी टुथ भनेको बच्चाहरुको दाँतमा पिरो पेशेन्टहरुमा हैन अनि त्यस्तै गरी यदि कुनै पनि दाँतमा ओभर मास्टिगेटरी फोर्सेस चाहिँ नि धेरै छ भने त्यस्तो कन्डिसनमा पनि पिडियल विड्थ चाहिँ नि इन्क्रिज हुने भयो अनि रेडियोग्राफिकली हामीले चाहिँ नि एक्सेस गर्न सक्ने भयो के हैन इफ देयर इज अ इन्क्रिमेन्ट इन द पिडियल विड्थ अब के चाहिँ नि हामीले रुल आउट गर्नलाई चाहिँ हामीलाई सजिलो हुन्छ Similarly, periodontal fibers, it is also one of the important elements of the periodontal ligament. अब longitudinally हेर्दाखेरि चाहिँ नि हैन माइक्रोस्कोपिकली हेर्दा तिमीहरुको यो wavy in nature हुने भयो collagenous and they are arranged in bundles है यो periodontal fibers हरु चाहिँ and it is one of the very much important component of the periodontal ligament. यहाँनेर देख्यो हिस्टोलोजिकली चाहिँ नि एकदमै extended fishing net जस्तै गरी देख्छ है यो चाहिँ नि अर्को त्यसै गरी अब शार्पिस फाइबर्स भन्ने टर्म चाहिँ नि कहिले कहिले तिमीहरुलाई सोध्छ भाइबामा है इट इज आल्सो नोन एज द बोन फाइबर्स अर द पर्फोरेटिङ फाइबर्स यो चाहिँ कस्तो हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि हुन चाहिँ इट इज आल्सो द प्रिन्सिपल फाइबर्स नै हो तर प्रिन्सिपल फाइबर्स को टर्मिनल एन्ड हो जुन चाहिँ नि तिमीहरुको सिमेन्टम र alveolar bone मा गएर इन्सर्ट हुने भयो हैन periodontal fibers को terminal end that is the Sharp's fibers and it has the various non collagenous proteins like osteopontin हरु bone silo protein हरु हुन्छ हैन अनि त्यस्तै गरी these proteins they are responsible for the regulation of the mineralization and the tissue cohesion at the site of the increased biomechanical strain भनेपछि दाँतमा कुनै पनि एउटा स्ट्रेस हामी स्ट्रेन बढ्दै गर्ने क्रममा चाहिँ तिमीहरुको शार्पिस फाइबर्स इट हेल्प्स टु रेजिस्ट or withstand that abnormal forces अब तिमीहरुलाई पेरियोडोन्टल फाइबर्सहरुको नाम मेन्सन गरे भने मार्क्स स्कोर गर्न सजिलो हुन्छ अनि भाइबामा पनि कहिले कहिले सोधिन्छ हैन मेनली चाहिँ नि प्रिन्सिपल फाइबर्स भयो त्यसै गरी इम्याच्योर इलास्टिन फाइबर्स इन डिफरेन्ट फाइबर प्लेक्सस अनि इन्टरमिडिएट प्लेक्सस भनेर ब्रोडली 4 क्याटेगोरीमा डिभाइड गर्यो हैन अनि प्रिन्सिपल फाइबर्स पनि अगेन it is the transeptal fibers alveolar crest horizontal oblique apical र interradicular अब यसको डिटेलमा तिमीहरु जान्नु परेन सक्छ भने यो पिक्चर्स चाहिँ बनाइदिनु है PDL को cells को कुरा गर्नु पर्दा it has the synthetic cells like fibroblast हैन osteoblast and cementoblast resorptive cells fibroblast it is both the synthetic and resorptive one हैन त्यसै गरी osteoclast हरु and cementoclast progenitor cells which is the undifferentiated mesenchymal cells and defensive cells हरु पनि हुन्छ PDL मा like macrophages mast cells and the lymphocytes हरु and the last cells it is the epithelial cell rest of Malassez है cell of the PDL हरु चाहिँ नि यो भयो अब ground substance भने तिमी cells र fibers को बीचमा हुने that is the ground substances and it is composed of 70% water by its volume and the two main components it is the glycosaminoglycans and the glycoproteins example of glycoproteins is fibronectin laminin and the tenascins अनि glycosaminoglycans हरुमा चाहिँ तिमीहरुको hyaluronic acid हरु हुने भयो अनि त्यसै गरी proteoglycans हरु अब पेरियल भास्कुलेचर को कुरा गर्नु पर्दाखेरि the blood supply it is derived from the superior and the inferior alveolar arteries to maxilla and mandible respectively you know and it reaches the periodontal ligament via 3 sources जुन तिमीहरुको यो maxilla र mandible को superior र inferior alveolar arteries हरु छ नि हो त्यो चाहिँ नि PDL सम्म रिच गर्नलाई चाहिँ नि अरु accessory arteries हरु जस्तै apical vessels हरु नि भयो त्यसै गरी penetrating vessels from the alveolar bone and the anastomosing vessels from the gingiva nerve supply चाहिँ it is derived from the branches of the second and the third division of the fifth cranial nerve that is the trigeminal nerve following the same path for the blood vessels, and they are responsible for the various sensation like touch, pressure, pain, and the proprioception during mastication. दुईटा कम्पोनेन्ट सिकायो है हामीले अब रिमेनिङ भनेको तिम्रो सेमेन्टम र एल्भियोलर बोन भयो सेमेन्टम चाहिँ नि एभास्कुलर यसमा कुनै पनि ब्लड सप्लाई पनि छैन न कुनै नर्भ सप्लाईहरु छ दैट इज आल्सो नन इनर्वेटेड definition important given by Glickman. It is the calcified avascular mesenchymal tissue that forms the outer covering of the anatomic root. भने थिए नि अघि crown portion र root portion भयो हैन धातु root portion लाई immediately surround गर्ने that is the cementum. अब यसको फिजिकल क्यारेक्टरिस्टिक्सहरुको कुरा गर्नु पर्दाखेरि चाहिँ हार्डनेस हैन the fully mineralized cementum is less hardened than the dentin थाहा छ नि हैन enamel dentin pulp पढिसक्यो it is light yellow in color and can be distinguished from the enamel by its lack of fluctuation and its darker hue function anchorage गर्छ repair मा हेल्प गर्छ त्यसै गरी functional adaptation मा अब anchorage भन्नाले चाहिँ नि it primarily function to furnish the medium for the attachment of the collagen fibers that bind the tooth to alveolar bone भन्नको मतलब तिमीहरुको सिमेन्टममा आएर चाहिँ नि कोलाजन फाइबर्सहरु बाइन्ड हुन सक्ने भयो अनि हो त्यो कोलाजन फाइबर्सहरु चाहिँ नि फर्दर टुथमा गएर बाइन्ड हुने भयो भनेपछि इन्डाइरेक्टली के हुने भयो त नि भन्दाखेरि दाँतलाई चाहिँ नि मजाले सपोर्ट गर्नमा चाहिँ नि सिमेन्टमको रोल हुने भयो हैन रिपेयर त्यसै गरी इट एक्ट्स एज द रिपेरेटिभ टिस्यु इन केस अफ एनी root fracture or resorptionहरुमा अनि functional adaptation cementum it is viewed as the tissue that makes the functional adaptation of the teeth possible यसको टाइप्सहरु इम्पोर्टेन्ट छ है cementum को चाहिँ है अब ल टाइप्स अफ cementum को कुरा गर्नु पर्दाखेरि चाहिँ नि तिमीहरुको according to the presence or absence of cementocytes मा चाहिँ नि cellular and acellular हुने भयो हैन त्यसै गरी according to the formation of the cementum it could be the primary or the secondary one. And regarding the presence or absence of the fibers so basis masa it could be the fibrillar or the fibrillar one and based on the collagen sources कस्तो छ भन्ने आधारमा चाहिँ तिमीहरुको एक्सट्रिन्जिक र इन्ट्रिन्जिक भयो अब यसको डिटेलमा त जानु पर्दैन बट यति चाहिँ तिमीहरुले थाहा पाउनु पर्यो and another classification it was given by the Schroeder regarding the types of cementum where we do have the acellular extrinsic fiber cementum cellular fibrillar cementum, cellular mixed stratified cementum, cellular intrinsic fiber cementum, and the intermediate cementum. Now the last component it is the alveolar bone. Alveolar bone भन्नाले jaw. Generally बुझ्दाखेरि चाहिँ jaw भनेर बुझ्छ है तिमीहरुले अब. It is the specialized part of the maxillary and the mandibular bone that forms the primary supporting structures for the teeth. By the definition के हुने भयो भन्दाखेरि it is the portion of the maxilla this is the maxilla and this is the mandible that forms and supports the tooth socket हैन tooth socket or alveolus लाई support गर्ने structure that is the alveolar bone अनि तिमीहरुको यदि long term मा पछि एज हुँदै गएपछि कसैको दाँत झर्छ नि हैन त्यस्तो कन्डिसनमा चाहिँ नि alveolar process पनि disappear or vanish हुँदै जाने भयो है अब alveolar process को main component भनेको alveolar bone proper र supporting alveolar bone हुने भयो हैन अब supporting alveolar bone is also it have the cortical plate र spongy bone अब alveolar bone proper को अरु synonymously हामीले युज गर्न सक्ने भनेको नेमहरु के छ cremiform plate भयो bundle bone भयो त्यसै गरी lamina dura है lamina dura भनेको चाहिँ नि रेडियोग्राफिकली टर्म युज गर्नु पर्यो भने lamina dura भन्छ है बन्डल बोन चाहिँ नि हिस्टोलोजिकली अनि क्रिमिफर्म प्लेट चाहिँ नि माइक्रोस्कोपिकली त्यसै गरी composition of the alveolar bone it comprises of the inorganic and the organic components of inorganic components there is 67% हैन remaining 33% is occupied by the organic components of inorganic components भित्र पनि तिनीहरुको केले बनेको छ भन्दाखेरि हाइड्रोक्सीएपेटाइट हुने भयो क्याल्सियम छ phosphorus sodium magnesium fluorine हुने भयो हैन त्यसै गरी अर्गानिक मा चाहिँ नि तिमीहरुको 28% it is occupied by the type 1 collagen अनि 5% चाहिँ नि non collagenous proteins हरु जस्तै के भन्दा osteocalcin osteonectin bone siloproteins BMP भनेको bone morphogenetic proteins र proteoglycans है. This is the composition of the alveolar bone. अब बोन सेल्सहरु थाहा नै छ है, तिमीहरुले आफ्नो उसमा नि पढि नै रह्यो. ओस्टियोप्रेजेनाइटस सेल्स हुन्छ, ओस्टियोब्लास्ट हुन्छ, ओस्टियोसाइट्सहरु हुन्छ, ओस्टियोक्लास्ट हुन्छ एल्भेओलर बोनमा पनि थाहा छ. ओस्टियोब्लास्ट इज द बोन फर्मिङ सेल्स भयो हैन. त्यसैगरी ओस्टियोसाइट्सहरु छ, ओस्टियोक्लास्ट भनेको बोन रिजर्प्सन मा चाहिँ नि यसको रोल हुने भयो. Now about the function of the alveolar bone. के भयो त? Primary supporting structure for the tooth अथवा alveolus मैले भनेको थिएँ नि हैन. त्यसैगरी in conjunction with the root cementum र PDL alveolar bone, it constitutes the attachment apparatus of the teeth, which helps to redistribute and reserve the forces generated for the mastication and the other tooth contacts. है, फोर्सेसहरुलाई चाहिँ रिडिस्ट्रिब्युसन गर्नमा चाहिँ नि यसले हेल्प गर्ने भयो. त्यसैगरी tooth root लाई पनि it surrounds, provides attachment to the teeth with the help of the principal fibers of the periodontal ligament. It supplies the blood supply to the PDL and the cementum. त्यसैगरी it houses and protects the developing permanent tooth while supporting the primary tooth. It organizes the successive eruption of the primary and the permanent tooth. त्यसैगरी it is one of the most important reservoir for minerals. Okay. Right, now finally to summarize, the understanding of the basic anatomy important हुने भयो नि हैन. basic anatomy थाहा पाएपछि न तिमीहरुले त्यसलाई कोरिलेट गर्न सक्छ abnormal featuresहरुसँग, which ultimately helps in the landing upon the correct diagnosis and the treatment option. है, यही नै हो. इम्पोर्टेन्ट छ यो टपिक, थियोरेटिकली सोध्छ है एकदम. ल ओके.